This is Kendrick explaining what "Not Like Us" means to him. And this is a direct quote from Kendrick Lamar himself. This man has morals. He has values. He believes in something. He stands on something. He's not pandering. He's a man who can recognize his mistakes and not be afraid to share the mistakes, and can dig deep down into fear-based ideologies or experiences to be able to express them without feeling like he's less of a man.
Have you ever witnessed a moment in hip-hop so unexpected that it flipped the entire conversation overnight? Playboi Carti's new album did more than just shake up his fan base. It brought along a surprise that nobody in the industry saw coming. When whispers of delays and cryptic social media posts turned into confirmed release dates, fans could barely keep up. Yet, the biggest shock wasn't Carti's eventual drop. It was who showed up alongside him. In an era where streaming numbers can make or break careers, the sudden alignment of Carti's chaotic energy with Kendrick Lamar's undeniable influence has lit a spark in rap that no one can ignore. The question is, how does this pairing reshape the balance of power in a genre already brimming with rivalry, drama, and speculation? Playboi Carti has always thrived in an atmosphere of suspense. Even before his previous project, rumors of unreleased tracks swirled, unofficial snippets leaked, and fans filled social media with theories about potential drop dates. This time around, the buzz reached new levels of intensity. Cryptic tweets hinted at a grand artistic shift, fueling the frenzy. Whether it was hush-hush talk about leaked demos or alleged sample clearance disasters, the chatter only multiplied. Some insiders claimed Carti was purposely leaving fans in the dark, hoping the confusion would skyrocket anticipation. Others argued he was grappling with behind-the-scenes complications, perhaps legal tangles, perhaps creative indecision. Either way, each fresh delay stoked curiosity until it felt like an endless waiting game. The tension escalated with every passing week, as self-proclaimed experts insisted the album was dropping at midnight, only to have nothing materialize. By the time Carti finally confirmed the release date, fans were practically on edge, ready to dissect the album's every snare, synth, and ad-lib. The unveiling itself proved smooth, yet utterly electric. But in the hours after the album went live, social media noticed something more surprising than any leak or rumor. 3 Kendrick Lamar features that hadn't been teased once. All at once, the conversation shifted away from Carti's tardiness. Everyone wanted to know how on earth these two polar opposite artists ended up on the same track list. And not just one track, but 3. The first of Kendrick's 3 appearances is on a track insiders are hailing as a crossover masterpiece. Backdoor wasted no time igniting online chatter, particularly because it showcased a melodic twist few expected from Carti. This song was designed to creep into the psyche of not just die-hard rap fans, but also more mainstream listeners. The production leans into atmospheric layers and a subtle R&B feel, creating a vibe that's as catchy as it is surprising. Kendrick's verse takes Backdoor from a typical Carti banger to a potential chart juggernaut. His polished approach aligns seamlessly with the beat's pulsing rhythm, offering a captivating contrast to Carti's darker vocal style. The track's instant replay value and broader sonic appeal pose a real threat to anyone else vying for a #1 spot, particularly Drake, whose album is still waiting for that definitive runaway hit. The timing here is, without question, part of the intrigue. Released at a moment when Drake had just begun a new promotional push for his single Noia, Backdoor burst onto the scene and forced everyone to reconsider which song might dominate playlists. Fans on social media drew comparisons, analyzing how Backdoor might perform on different streaming platforms and whether radio might pick it up. The consensus: Kendrick plus Carti is an unbeatable blend, and Backdoor might just be the unstoppable wave that sweeps aside Drake's attempts at reclaiming top billing. If Backdoor flaunts melodic flair, good credit plunges straight into the murkier side of both artists' repertoires. Haunting synths and a menacing bass line set the scene. Carti's penchant for eerie, experimental beats collides beautifully with Kendrick's razor-sharp lyricism, creating a song that feels more like a cinematic event than a mere track on a playlist. This is also where the rumors of a subliminal jab at Drake take flight. Kendrick's verse bristles with references that could be interpreted in multiple ways. Winks to hip-hop conspiracies, sly hints at lists, alliances, or behind-the-scenes deals. One particularly buzzing line alludes to 50 Cent's past involvement with Drake, fueling theories that Kendrick is subtly acknowledging the so-called beef list some fans believe Drake keeps. The verse is clever enough to let you speculate, but cryptic enough to avoid naming names outright. Beyond the drama, Good Credit reveals how far Kendrick is willing to stretch his creativity. He seamlessly adapts his flow to Carti's unsettling vibe, adopting a more ominous cadence than we typically hear. The track has quickly become a conversation piece, not just for fans but for critics, who see it as a symbolic merging of two distinct rap lineages. In a single verse, Kendrick manages to champion Carti's audacious approach while standing firm in his own narrative. The result? A brooding, unforgettable collaboration that underscores Kendrick's and Carti's mutual respect, no matter how surprising that pairing once seemed. While the first two collaborations brought a melodic smash and a gritty nighttime jam, Mojo Jojo switches gears. This track's energy is more playful and slightly off-kilter, reminiscent of the experimental flair Carti fans crave. Instead of overshadowing the vibe with another heavyweight verse, Kendrick opts to drift in and out of the background, weaving airy ad-libs and subtle vocal echoes throughout Carti's main verses. The effect is almost hypnotic. Fans described it as an underground party meets interstellar radio, with Kendrick providing a ghostly presence that elevates Carti's performance rather than dominating it. This approach stands in stark contrast to how some big-name features often unfold, where the guest verse outshines the main artist. Here, Kendrick takes a step back, letting Carti's hallmark flamboyance lead. Social media exploded with reactions, praising Kendrick's versatility. Some called it a nod to the Hillbillies-era freewheeling style that he's teased in the past. Others saw it as a sign that Kendrick is simply too comfortable with his stature to insist on stealing the spotlight. Whatever the case, Mojo Jojo delivers a fun, boundary-pushing experience that proves both artists can let loose without losing the essence of who they are. Taken together, these three tracks suggest more than just an experimental detour. They may well mark a pivotal moment in hip-hop. Two artists at wildly different points in their journeys collaborating to push each other further. Kendrick, fresh off high-profile events and widely regarded as hip-hop's current apex, shows he's not content to rest on laurels or repeat the same formulas. By joining forces with Carti, he taps into an unexplored corner of modern rap, edgy, chaotic, and fiercely adored by the subculture that crowns internet sensations. For Carti, the advantages are equally potent. Aligning himself with one of the most critically acclaimed voices in music history elevates his art, capturing the attention of audiences who might have dismissed him as too niche or outlandish. In effect, these tracks rewrite any assumption that Carti's realm is limited to a cult following. If anything, the partnership lays the groundwork for more boundary-crossing moves across the entire music landscape. This synergy also comes at a strategic time. Drake's been maneuvering to push singles from his latest release to the top of the charts, but every day sees new obstacles. A ramped-up marketing campaign for Noia runs headfirst into the unstoppable wave of 3 brand-new Kendrick Lamar features. Fans can't help but suspect that part of Kendrick's motivation is to underscore his iron grip on hip-hop's top slot. If Drake hoped to coast back into the #1 conversation, he's now faced with a formidable roadblock courtesy of this Carti-Kendrick tandem. While the headline for casual listeners is simply Kendrick x Carti, the deeper story speaks to evolving rules in hip-hop collaborations. Traditionally, big-name features could overshadow lesser-known artists or derail the original vision of an album. But these new songs flip that narrative. They prove that a heavyweight like Kendrick can adapt to someone else's style while preserving his own artistic identity. Producers, too, are reaping the benefits. Some of the most talked-about figures behind the boards, rumored to include big industry legends, have found fresh ways to marry Carti's atmospheric chaos with Kendrick's crisp storytelling. Such synergy rarely comes together by accident. It hints that an intricate level of planning went on behind closed doors, culminating in these songs being released just in time to disrupt any momentum Drake hoped to gather. Music executives are undoubtedly paying attention. The collaborations already show clear potential for huge streaming numbers, cross-platform media buzz, and a wave of fan theories that keep engagement sky high. As the boundaries of hip-hop widen, we might see more unexpected combos. That's the real power of what Carti and Kendrick have sparked. Their success could motivate other mainstream artists to step outside predictable pairings, forging partnerships that once seemed impossible. In a single album drop, Playboi Carti reignited the hype surrounding his name, cast a new spotlight on his creative range, and pulled hip-hop's reigning champion into his orbit for not one, but 3 unforgettable tracks. By weaving together Carti's unhinged style with Kendrick's masterful lyricism, these songs prove that 2 seemingly mismatched talents can create something that intrigues hardcore rap heads and more casual fans alike. And while the music itself stands on its own merit, the ripple effect across the industry might be just as impactful. In a time when Drake seemed poised to recapture glory with new singles, Carti and Kendrick arrived like a sudden bolt of lightning, leaving everyone to wonder if there's any room left for Drake to maneuver. Fans, pundits, and even competitors are left asking whether this moment marks the dawn of a broader shift. One thing is certain, nobody expected this album rollout to become a stage for Kendrick Lamar to remind the world why he's at the pinnacle. By choosing to enter Carti's dark, eclectic universe and emerge with songs that shatter expectations, Kendrick sets a new benchmark for collaborations done right. Carti, in turn, escapes the shadow of endless delays and skyrockets to the forefront of conversation, proving he's no mere cult sensation. The partnership might be surprising, but it's also an urgent reminder that hip-hop thrives when artists dare to cross boundaries. With all eyes on them, and with Drake scrambling to keep pace, the future of rap just got a lot more intriguing. Who will be left standing at the top when the dust settles is anyone's guess. But one thing's for sure, this era is only getting started.